Hey, my name is Ty Frisbee, and I make a lot of aviation content using my Piper Cub on floats. Because of the unique camera angle, a lot of people comment on the way I use the rudder. They'll say things like, that guy knows how to use the ball. And while I appreciate the compliment, the irony here is that my airplane doesn't have a ball, or an inclinometer as it's technically called. So the question is, how do I coordinate my turns without a ball, and why should you do it too? The answer to that question is I just approximate my turn rate for any given bank angle and airspeed. So there's two things we know for sure. If an airplane is wings level, it should not be turning. There should be no turn left or right if the wings are level. And the other thing we know for sure is that if an airplane is banked, it should be turning in the direction that it's banked. So if it's banked, it should be turning in the direction that it's banked. Okay? So what I do when I fly my airplane and coordinate my turns, which I do fairly well without a ball, is I just sort of approximate the rate of turn as I'm establishing my banks and removing my banks, trying to time it to where, well, first of all, as soon as my wings begin to bank, I'm using the rudder to start sliding that nose across the horizon immediately. And then I'm increasing that rate of turn corresponding to the increase in bank angle. So shallow bank, small rate of turn, medium bank, medium rate of turn, steep bank, high rate of turn. Okay, this is initially rudder, which moves the nose along the horizon if you think about that, right? But then as you get into the steeper bank, it's more elevator that's kind of moving that nose along the horizon. All right, now when I'm rolling out of a turn, it's just the reverse, right? So if I'm in a steep bank and I have a high rate of turn, and I use my ailerons to start to remove that bank angle, I'm also using the rudder to start to reduce that rate of turn. Okay, and the goal here is to time it to where right when my wings reach level, my turn stops. Okay, so as I'm rolling out of my turn, I want the rate of turn to stop at the exact same moment that my wings reach level. So that's how I do it. If you wanted to, you could reference a table like this and just sort of, this is a table of bank angle versus airspeed and the rate of turn that corresponds when you're coordinated. So this is essentially the mental map that I've done. I've just practiced flying at various speeds and various bank angles, rolling in and rolling out of turns. And essentially what I've done is I've incorporated this table into my brain, and I do it all visually, and I approximate it. And I think this is a good way to do coordinated turns, or to coordinate your turns, because if you think about it, all the ball can really do is tell you that you're wrong. So first, you have to wait for the ball to move out of center before you can step on it to push it back into the center. So if you're trying to coordinate your turns or stay coordinated, keep that ball between the two lines while looking at the ball, you're kind of destined to fail. Where if you just practice incorporating the rate of turn for any given bank angle, and you just keep in mind these two simple concepts, an airplane that isn't banked should not be turning, and an airplane that is banked should be turning in the direction that it's banked, you'll do a pretty darn good job of coordinating your turns while looking outside.